You know, it occurred to me, I've never put up a video talking about this car. This is my 79 Cadillac Coupe DeVille. And it's a pretty sweet ride. I'll go through it a little bit and show you what we're working with here. The story on this is my dad bought one of these, probably leased it actually, but anyway, he got one of these brand new back in '79. And yeah, I was just a teenager, and man, it was the coolest thing in the world to me back then. So we had some stuff going on a couple of years ago, back in 2019, and that had the effect of making me think about getting one of these. And honestly, I'd kind of thought about it over the years, getting one to match Dad's car. I never got around to it. And anyway, back in 2019, I finally got around to it, and this is it. Found this. Well, the first thing I did was I signed up for the forum for the Cadillac LaSalle Owners Club forum on the internet, and told them what I wanted to do, told them what I was looking for, and basically said, hey, anybody who's got anything like this, keep your eye open, let me know. And within like a week or two, somebody sent me a message and said, hey, there's one in Michigan that's exactly what you're looking for. And basically got together with the guy in Michigan and made a deal, flew up there, and my wife and I drove this thing back. And it's, runs good. It's only got, well, it had like 52,000 on it when I got it. It's got 56,000 on it now, so I don't drive it much. I still got Michigan guys collector plates on it, which I've got it legally registered and titled here in Nebraska, but I left the Michigan guy's plate on it because I thought that was cool. If any cops ever give me any trouble about that, I've got a Nebraska plate for it, but the Michigan one makes me happy. That's not rust behind the wheel, by the way. It's just a little dirty. I got this thing out of storage and haven't cleaned it yet. And so that is it. That is the 79 Coupe DeVille. The color is colonial yellow. It's got the vinyl roof, the opera lights, which I mean, how can you not just love those? Those are just the coolest things ever. It's got the yellow leather interior. Lots of room in the back seat. And just a great car. Alright, so here it is under the hood. I haven't done a whole lot to this since I got it. And you see that there. I did have to put a new radiator in it. The factory radiator was just leaking like crazy and giving me trouble. So that had to be replaced. It's got the 425 cubic inch Cadillac V8, and basically it runs good. The one thing I'm having a little bit of an issue with, I got to figure out, and I'm actually going to put up a different video on this. On an ice cold start, this thing idles really, really rough, but it doesn't. Once it gets good and warm, it smooths out just fine. But I don't know, there's all kinds of stuff in there. Maybe it's just the carburetor needs cleaning. But, these things, this is all pre-computer era, so all the stuff to, the enrichers and the automatic chokes and the fast idle and all of that, none of that's computer controlled. So maybe something needs to get opened up, cleaned up, whatever. Put a new master cylinder in it. Actually did the brakes all the way around. I did new calipers up front. The rotors were fine. Had a leaky wheel cylinder in the back, so I went ahead and did both of those. Replaced the little piece of flex line that goes to the calipers and to the wheel cylinders in the back. So that's all been updated. Everything's good there. Still has the original air conditioning system. I'm considering whether or not to upgrade that, but I don't know, it seems to be working fine. But anyway, that's what the engine bay looks like. One of the things that's cool about this, it's got fully automatic climate control, but again, there's no computers on this thing. So it's all analog, and I've got the manual that talks about how that system works. I mean, it is just crazy complicated, but that part of it works. The one thing that I'm having all kinds of trouble with, I don't know if I can show you this down here or not, it's way down underneath there. That's where the fuses are. Absolute pain in the butt to get to. But the problem I'm running into is the fan doesn't want to work. And what I figured out is that the fan, the fuse that controls the circuit that controls the climate fan, burned up. And it burned up so bad it melted the fuse holder with it. So, I don't know if you can see that there. I put in, let's get around to there it is. I got in and took the fuse box out, which was a chore, and wired in that basically, external fuse holder. And the fan worked for a while, like, a few weeks, and then it quit again, and I don't know why. So, somewhere this summer, that's on the list. I'm gonna have to get in there and figure out what's going on with that. And that'll be fun. Other than that, this little nickels and dimes, that this thing's got ashtrays everywhere. The lid to that ashtray is broken, and I pulled it out, and it's actually, it's broken. The hinge part of the aluminum casting is snapped off, so obviously is subjected to some rough handling by some Canadians somewhere along the line, and I'm going to probably just get on eBay and see if I can replace that. The only other thing that's on the list right now is I think I've got a rear wheel bearing problem, and I know I've got a bearing seal problem on this end because I've replaced the fluid in the differential, and it all ran out the side, so that's on the list for this summer. But other than that, this thing's in really good shape. So let me start it up for you, and you hear what that motor sounds like. It starts right up, runs great, idles smooth. It's a good running car. Starting to get a little saggy here. This is actually a new hose I put on when I put in the radiator, and you can notice it's kind of rubbing against this and melting, so I may or may not have to do anything about that. Anyway, let's go for a little cruise, show you how it drives. There you can see it there. We got 56,505 miles right now. One of the things I love about this, the 70s were just a different time. So first thing that's cool, turn on the radio, which does work, and there you go. You got a power antenna on the outside. That was cool. So there's the power antenna. That still works. But here's the thing I love. Okay, so we're just, the brake is on, the parking brake. It's automatic release. So you put your foot on the, okay, here's a reality, kids. Back in the day, you didn't have to put your foot on the brake to get it out of gear. That's just habit at this point. So if I put it into reverse, you hear that, it automatically releases the parking brake for you. Now, the first thing you'll notice when you're driving a car like this, obviously it's big, and that's a little, you're not necessarily going to be used to that. But the power steering that they put on these things, it is just so crazy over-assisted by today's standards. So this thing has this pencil-thin steering wheel, and just, it's, this is a pretty heavy car, and it's just effortless steering, nothing to it at all, which is, kind of cool. And you drive down the road, and you got that huge Cadillac crest leading the way for you. I mean, you just feel like you're just kind of, you know, you're driving a ship. It's like you're sending vague inputs from the helm on your ship, but you're not steering it the way you would a traditional, or I should say a contemporary car. But this is the way cars were back then. I mean, this was a big car, full-size car, but it wasn't, you know, like, this was actually a downsized car. This is a 79. The last really big Cadillacs were the 76s, and then they downsized them in 77. And really the 3 years you want, in my opinion, are the 77, 8, and 9. They call those the Tri-7 years. And there were very minimal changes between the 3 years, but it's it's just a great era of Cadillacs, because they're so smooth, and yet they're, you know, a little more manageable, and still, you know, I don't want to say modern, but they're, you know, if you can get one with fairly low miles on it, it'll be a pretty reliable car for you. And this thing just cruises down the road. It's just incredibly smooth. You just, you know, you forget what cars were like back in those days. I mean, this is the way cars drove. This was, you know, the high end of a, you know, nice smooth ride. But even, you know, you could have bought a 79 Chevy, a full-size Caprice or something, and it would feel, you know, basically like this. Maybe not quite as refined, but this is what luxury was like in 1979. The only two big changes for 79 compared to the other Tri-7 years is there's a different pattern of fake wood on the acres of fake wood on the dashboard. And the big one that's kind of cool is they changed, and that's an aluminum hood. So they had a weight-saving aluminum hood for 79, and this has got that one. But anyway, that is a quick rundown of the Cadillac 79 Coupe DeVille. Hope you enjoy it, and one of these days I'll put up another motorcycle video as well, but for now I'm going to be talking about the Cadillac. You have a great day.